Welcome into the Thunderdome. I am not Pat McAfee. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in at Pat's desk as you saw him join us from an oversized New York City hotel room.
Football! How many people are doing what in this place? It's like a lot. So the league is in a good spot. And I'll tell you what, if the league wanted to go anywhere faster, they'd put their hitch right on the back of a Ram truck, wouldn't they?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and this thing will drive you to the top of the mountain internationally. It doesn't matter if it's South America, Australia. Do you know there's 20 million NFL fans in China?
What? Excuse me? When are we playing there?
20. Well, it seems like only a matter of time because all the big numbers of where the fans are have all had games except for China. China had 20-some million fans on their little graphic that they had. Australia, obviously huge, but you take a Ram truck to any of these places. Now, I've never been to China. I think they got some big mountains, topography pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The Ram truck had no problem. They're actually wondering if that wall that they had, if the Ram truck delivered all the bricks for the great one. Mm-hmm. Now, it might have been a little bit earlier. It might have been before Ram trucks existed, but Ram truck's the best down the line. Toxic Table at Boston Connor at Ty Schmidt, Con Man.
What have you heard about Skattebo and the Giants in that situation? Is it a whole bunch of absolutely nothing?
Well, I think there were people that basically said that they didn't like that Cam Skattebo was coming at their legs in some of these plays. It started a little bit scrum in practice. I think that's natural. I think John Harbaugh is right. The guy does have an energy, and he does bring an attitude, and you do want guys like that on your team. I think the defensive players don't always love it and don't always appreciate it. It's sort of like we could go back in time. There are always players like that, whether it's Bill Romanowski in football, Dennis Rodman in basketball, whoever it may be, some guy that's like a pest that you want to have on your team, but probably isn't a lot of fun to practice against. And that's probably what we're talking about here with Cam Skattebo and the infectious energy that he brings to the rest of the team.
Okay, so Harbaugh saying that, immediately go, okay, so Harbaugh doesn't just say Skattebo's awesome. He's not just like, hey, that's our Skattebo, which some coaches might do in that moment, actually. Be like, hey, Skattebo, whatever. He's not like Harbaugh. How do we think like the team is rallying around Harbaugh? Because we chit-chatted about them going down to West Virginia and there was no good, hey, we're doing football. And then we talked to NorthJersey.com's own
Art Stapleton.
Big Art.
Art Stapleton, and he said if it's 2.5 hour practice or hour 40 practice, whatever, every single minute is being used. Like, how do we think the Giants are taking to the Harbaugh culture as a whole? And inevitably, how do you think it ends up for him this season as we sit on August 27th, 2026?
Well, they hired him because they wanted the exact things that they've gotten out of him so far. They wanted more order. They wanted more structure. They wanted more discipline. But when you get John Harbaugh, you get tough practices, and the players aren't always going to like them. They're tough physical practices, but his results, what he's brought, are indisputable. That's why they hired him. That's why he was so coveted on the coaching free agent market. And so, look, the first year, I think everybody's going to be all on board. And if they're winning, everybody will keep being on board. But like with any coach, when you don't win, there are going to be people that don't always like everything. It's like any team, right? Like, that's the way it goes. But right now, everything's great. He hasn't lost a game. Everything, and there are big expectations with the Giants. So I don't foresee any issues there right now.
Shout out for doing what you're doing with the Gaudreau Foundation, raising money for hockey and for obviously other victims that have been through similar situations and families that have been through what you've been through. I appreciate you taking a very negative, turning it into a positive alongside the hockey community. Can you tell us a little bit about the merch line and everything you guys kind of have going and how we can help support you in this entire journey of not only for your family, but for hockey and the world as a whole?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, yeah, it was definitely after the Olympics where we had this idea to do a collab with USA Hockey, and we just kind of thought it was a really great fit. It was something that John really, really wanted to be a part of, and the merch stuff is fun for Madeline and I to be a part of and help design, and everything we do, we try to keep it within John's style and Maddie's style. So I'm wearing one of the hoodies right now, and yeah, I think it's really cool. Those guys brought light to John's name, and I really appreciate that. So if we can bring light to USA Hockey, I think hopefully people like it. And it was just kind of fun to have our two worlds collide.
Football! It's what we're doing, Pat. I see you finally grabbed one of those beautiful apples you had sitting on the table over your left shoulder, I believe, with Gumpy way back there. How is it going over there? What's happening?
Shout out to all the pears. Okay,
We couldn't tell.
Eating a pear.
Big stem.
Yeah, look at this.
Shout out all the pears out over here. Big. It could have been a green apple.
Yeah.
There is a couple red apples and a banana. I will say this hotel is doing the trick. The air conditioning, 65 degrees in here.
Ooh.
Okay, it's pumping.
Beautiful.
It is absolutely pumping because, I started sweating a little bit in the first hour because we had so many good conversations. It was getting hot in the kitchen, So we turn on the air conditioning. It's great. Space is big. We're in New York. The U.S. Open's happening. Good luck to all parties as they play tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the people who are covering the U.S. Open, okay, are staying in this hotel for 22 straight days. Do you know that's how long tennis tournaments are?
Oh, boy.
22 straight days. Somebody is staying in this hotel that I am in to cover the U.S. Open. That's a rental. That is a long, and we are going to cover it. And we are thankful that it's happening in real time. And all the U.S. Open fans that I've run into, which there are a plethora of, shout out to them bringing the juice.
It feels like everyone believes in Georgia and Texas and the SEC, and then I have like a group of 6 teams where they all have questions, but 3 of them are probably going to make the playoff. 2 to 3 of them are going to make the playoff in A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, LSU, Bama, and Tennessee. Those last 2 starting 5-star freshmen. Out of that group, outside of Georgia and Texas, who do you like the most to potentially make the playoff of those teams that have question marks at this point?
If Oklahoma can go to Ann Arbor in week 2 and win that game, I like the Sooners to be a team with Mateer and the defense that Venables always has. But can they win that game on the road early? And then Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss and A&M. I like Chambliss and I like Marcel Reed. I think both of those teams have a legitimate shot. I think the only time that people talk about Ole Miss on a national level is when they talk about Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. It's like, let's just move past that. Let's look at them and their roster and who they have. Now, Charlie Weiss Jr., when they were rolling last year with Chambliss, he had a lot to do with when Lane left that offense in the playoff. They were lethal. Now he's in Baton Rouge. So how are they going to do offensively? We know what kind of player Chambliss is, and we know what kind of players they have around that position, led by Lacey, the running back. But how are they going to do it when it comes to that offense and the play calling? That is such a up-tempo offense, and it takes the right kind of guy to be able to pull the trigger to really do it justice. And so we'll have to wait and see. Let's watch them play a few games. But I think we all love Chambliss. I think this kid could be, again, a guy that gets to New York City at the end of the year. If any indication at all of what he did in the postseason last year, aren't all of us kind of like, man, I want to see this guy play again. I cannot wait.
Is Peter might be able to buy the Pirates at some point because with all the commercials he's got. Hey, Peter.
All fired up.
Hey, he looks good. He's maturing. I can tell in his face he's becoming a little bit more mature dog.
Look at him. He's ready. He's just taking a nap.
He knows. Hey, I'll see you soon, brother. You look unbelievable. I might be bringing Blue around. You two are going to have to fight to the death.
Bring Blue. They can wrestle. That'd be fun.
All right. Now, no, Blue from the streets, though. So I think he plays by a little different rules than maybe old Goldilocks.
They'll have a little bit of a thing, and then it'll be over, and then they'll be boys.
Okay, I think so. I think that'll be the case. Be the case. Can't wait to see you on the road, brother.
You too, man. See you guys.
Shout out to Ram Trucks bringing in all the food that corgis like to eat.
You could put him in the back of that thing. That Ram truck would drive him around.
Use that to move
powerful
truck.
enough.
Best towing and suspension in the business.
It's definitely the best truck.
Line.
I don't know what that means, but I love it. I think I
true. What does that
absolutely
mean?
love it.
Like if there's a line of trucks,
Thanks
you're
for
going
pointing that
down.
out.
Or
It's
he's
the best
definitely
one.
not.
Hey, if there was a line of trucks and you go down them, you'd say that one's the best one, and that's a Ram freaking truck. We appreciate them. Nothing stops a Ram unless lawyers stop them from jumping over, but Rams go and do their thing. We appreciate you all for allowing us to do this for a living. NFL Live will be next as we continue with U.S. Open, Little League World Series, and football coverage. We'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye.